Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars, and we are in flood remediation mode.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new channel, my name is Dan, and right there is Josh, and we've been busting our ass, and unfortunately, a lot of you have been busting your...
I've never filled up so many trash bags in my life.
A lot of you have been helping us out, and I can't thank you enough. So if you didn't already see the other videos, basically all of this was under 1 to 2 inches of mud and about 2 to 3 feet of water less than a week ago. If you would have asked me on day one of all of this happening, I would have told you it would take us at least a month to get to where we are today. And that is 100% because of all of the volunteers and all the people who have helped us out. So we're starting off this video with just thank you. Thank you so much to all of you that helped us. When I first opened the door to the shop and saw how bad it was, holy shit. The entire shop is I thought that was it. This was it. Josh and I's dream of building this company was over. There was simply no way we were going to get this company running in any sort of reasonable time frame that we could afford to float with our current finances. There was just so much to do, so much daunting work. I've started a spreadsheet of the names of people who have been helping us out, and it's very long already. Very long. Too many people to think in a video at this time, and plus there's still people helping us out, so the list is growing. So as of this point, most of the remediation work is done. Everything wet has been removed, thrown away, or dried, or cleaned. Except for like little things like, you know, that's still dirty. But basically everything's been dried and clean. For the shop, we are now switching over into fix the cars mode. So as of this time, 2 cars, well, 1 car is for sure totaled, 1 car is basically totaled, and we have other cars that still have not been assessed that will probably be totaled. Less good news. One of our insurance policies already declined any claims. The other one we still have not heard from, but my hopes are not up. I'm pretty sure they're going to say no, and so we might be in an insurance hell. We also talked to the neighbors. So if you didn't know, we believe strongly, in fact, it's pretty obvious when you look at it, that the reason this happened is because the temple behind us added just an astronomical amount of dirt to their property that altered the natural runoff flow and forced it around their property onto our property. That water came through our building instead of going through the stream as it should have. So we're gonna be dealing with some stuff with that, and I'm not gonna talk about too much at this point in time. What that means is basically we're not in a floodplain. This should not have happened. We should not be dealing with this, because people are like, why'd you build in a floodplain? Well, we didn't. And why don't you have flood insurance? Because we're not in a floodplain. If you would like to help us out, because we still are going to need a lot of help, reach out to us. Still some stuff we're going to need. We still need to have drywall work done. We still need to have a kitchen, a bathroom, an office rebuilt. We still have a lot of dirt to dig, although we have, through the generosity of a friend, a company coming to dig out what we think is at least a temporary solution for the water mitigation. So we're going to be digging a large trench across the entire back of the property. Very large. Much, much larger than the French drain trench that I dug before. Like 10 times the size. And just to clear up a few things, this was not any sort of water remediation that we had planned for, because number one, we didn't realize just how much disruption had happened on the property next to us, because, well, it's not our property. We don't normally go looking at it on satellites and spy on the neighbors. But now that we looked at it, we're like, holy crap, that's... yeah, not good. Second of all, that was a 1,000-year rain event. So they upgraded it from a 500-year to a 1,000-year. So it's this may never happen again in our lifetime, basically. It probably doesn't make sense to plan for a 1,000-year rain event, because to do that would require many hundreds of thousands of dollars that we don't have. So we're going to do remediation for a reasonable amount of water that should happen with regularity, and maybe even a little bit more than regular. Please feel free to help out other people in need and other families in need in this area. There is a lot of need. So I would say go search for something that motivates you to help other people. and help them out. There's just a tremendous amount of need right now. If you're feeling generous and you want to help the area, the community, there is lots of opportunities to help, so please do. That would be wonderful. So that being said, we're trying to get some more trash out of the building. We're trying to get some cars dismantled and operational and get them out the door. Anything that's working, we want gone. We just need everything out of the building so we can clean up and just reorganize and get things back to semi-functional. Huh. Yeah, it could probably get thrown away. There's a lot of trash. So we're gonna be throwing away a lot of trash. I'm gonna work on that right now and help Josh. It sounds really stupid, but I've had to spend an astronomical amount of time lately while doing all this, answering phone calls, emails, text messages, DMs, interview live on Fox Weather, and we've had articles written about us and all this stuff. So there's a lot of, it sounds stupid, but like there's so much extraneous stuff not actually working, doing stuff like moving out trash that someone has to do. Otherwise, I think it would be detrimental to the future of the company. Like, we need to make sure that we have a goal of when the company is operational, that it continues to be successful. So it's not stuff I want to do, it's stuff I think I have to do. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down, answer some more emails and DMs and texts, and then I'm gonna help out with a bunch of trash that we gotta move. So, oh, and it's Thursday. Every Thursday we have Thursday Night Live. So join us Thursday Night Live every 8 p.m. Central every Thursday. I can't even talk, my brain is fried. Let me tell you, I've not been sleeping hardly at all lately. It's rough. I'm running on fumes. All right, guys. We'll keep this conversation going in a minute. Insurance developments have happened. One, our dealership insurance didn't start off with a no, so we're not sure what's going on with that one yet. They want some pictures and some other proof and stuff. So, okay, we're working with them. Second of all, the insurance for Scott's car wants us to like remove the interior and take everything apart to make sure that, yeah, it actually got wet in the interior. So they're gonna pay us to do that, but we're like, it's like all the computers are wet, right? So, okay, you can pay us to tear his car apart, and then it's just gonna be a torn apart car that's still totaled. So, all right, whatever. It's not our money. Strange day. So speaking of generosity, not only have some people been generous, a few companies have been really helpful. So we had the All-Star Trade Pros. The AC guys came out and hooked us up and fixed the one AC, or I should say just took care of it, made sure it was gonna be fine because it got dislodged and drenched in mud and stuff, and they cleaned it up, and they just did that totally free. So if you need their services, it's allstartradepros.com. And then AW Italian, which we're already working with, we buy all of our OEM parts from them, and they already hook you guys up with 10% off using the code NGS10 at awitalian.com. Well, they not only contributed to our GoFundMe, they flat out were like, hey, we're gonna give you guys a big credit on your account, so as we need to order more parts, it's gonna help us out. And that's huge thanks to them. Thank you so much, AW. You guys have been awesome. We love working with you. There's some other companies that are gonna do stuff, and as they do stuff, I'll try and promote them as well. So obviously, anyone who's doing anything generous to us, I wanna make sure that they get credit. And that's one of the things we wanna do, is try and find a way to say thank you to everyone who's helped in a way that's really unique and cool and honors all of your generosities. So we're working on some ideas. Yeah, there's just so much going on. It's hard to keep anything straight. All right, probably about it for today. Doing some stuff on the computer. We got some stuff done out here. Apparently now we got to tear apart Scott's car, so our workload got a little bit heavier. This car, oh, yeah. So we got this car all set basically to get back on the ground, and our quick jacks died. The electronics in it are toast. So Alan plugged it in, he said smoke came out of it, so I guess we need a new pump for the quick jack. Shit. All right. So that car's stuck for a little while.
The next day.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Friday. So let's see where we're at today and where we can get today. It's kind of started to transition into fixing the cars. So one of the big things we got to do today that's really important is organize the shop, maintenance side, the service side, whatever you want to call it. get our tools organized, get it so that we can start actually working on cars, because right now it takes you 10 minutes to find anything because nothing's where it used to be. Everything's scattered about. You know how it is when you have your tools unorganized. You're just like, I need to find my tool. We're gonna work on that this morning. That is a top priority so that we can finish up that car and that car. And unfortunately, some of the hardware for that car is just gone. It just got swept away. No idea where it went. It's probably 100 miles downstream, so we're probably gonna have to order more stuff for that. Over here, I don't know if we're ready to really start working on the 458s yet. Oh, forgot to show you guys. Looks like it's saved, or at least going to be saved, but we had a Makina Motorworks conversion kit here in that tote, and it totally filled up with water. I think it looks like we just gotta take everything apart and clean it, and it'll be okay. So that was actually going into this car, in my old car. By the way, Makina Motorworks, mmwx.us, we've been working with them for conversion kits for a while now. Everyone's like, where do you guys get your conversions? And they are the majority of the conversions that we do at this point. And furthermore, they were very gracious and generous, and they actually helped us out financially. We had some invoices that they were about to send us, and they just said, you know what, we're not going to charge you for those invoices. So super awesome of them. Thank you guys. So check them out. If you're looking to get a conversion from us, chances are you're gonna get a kit from them. We're gonna buy a kit from them and have either them install it or us install it. So we do both things at this point. Sometimes we send the cars there. Like right now we have a 430 Spider that we sent to them. So basically if our shop's full, we send the cars to them. If we have the space and the time, then we'll do it here. Just varies based on each thing. That yellow car has a Makina Motorworks conversion. We do them pretty frequently. But yeah, huge thanks to them again, mmwx.us. They've been wonderful to work with, a great partner. Unlike some other companies we've worked with, we're gracious for them for being generous. It's awesome. Oh, another thing that I'm going to do, I need to do it still, is I'm going to create a web page on our website that has just some information about the flood, keeping things up to date here and there. And also I want to have a list of everyone who helped out on that page. So if you go check it out and your name's not on the list and you helped us out, please send me an email or text or DM or whatever and just say, hey, my name is so-and-so and I was helping out, because unfortunately so many of you helped out, people I've never met before. I don't know all your names. The list, this is not including the GoFundMe. This is just the list of people that we could remember is already like 40 something people long. Those are people who physically came here to volunteer, sent us a pizza, did anything that helped us out. So we would like to honor you guys in some way special in the future. So I want to make sure that we don't forget who you are. So that being said, this car is basically all set. I mean, we cleaned up the carpets, did a bunch of stuff to it to make it look nice again, wash, all that crap, detail, and it runs perfectly fine. I mean, I think pretty much all the electrics are up and it never got to the electrics. So Scott's car, we're gonna start tearing apart. So the insurance company said, hey, tear it apart, take some pictures and videos and stuff. So we're gonna do that. We'll start on that today. Basically, we really need to figure out the 360 and the 2 458s and Josh's 355. That one, I think it's gonna be okay. Water did definitely get into the oil pan. That's really it. So we think we need to clean the oil pan, someone said to run diesel through it, so we might do that. It's kind of works like a solvent and it's a lubricant. So we'll do some stuff to try and see what we can do on that. All right, well, it sounds weird doing this in the middle of trying to do all of this, but I need to edit one of these videos so that you guys can watch it, because tomorrow's Saturday and I'd like the video to go out on Saturday. And last night on our Thursday Night Live, we had almost 500 people show up. The last time we had that many people show up was with the CNC Motors incident. Holy crap, that was amazing. Really good questions and everything, and people behaved for the most part, which was wonderful. So I appreciate that. All of you who are supporting us. Again, I can't thank you enough. There's gonna be a lot of thank yous over the next few videos. I'm just, don't let it get boring. Sorry, I have to thank you. All right, I'm gonna sit down and do some computer stuff, and then we'll get the day started. All right, YouTube, we're trying to get organized so that we can really start getting the shop operational. Cleanup is basically done, although Meg's here. It's late in the day. She's swung by after work, brooming some stuff, Steve's here. If you guys know Steve from some of the Thursday Night Lives. The other thing we did, we decided to kind of use our space better. So we have this upstairs loft, and it really wasn't being used for much of anything. So we decided to turn it into kind of like the parts area. So I put a lot of bins up here to organize stuff. So we've got like a ton of parts in this rack right here. And then we're gonna have some tools that we use not as frequently up here. Parts waiting for stuff, bins waiting for stuff, just things that we can get out of the way. Obviously, we still have a ton of organization to do. Oh, you like our temporary assembly room of all the seats? Got all the carbon seats and all the Daytona seats. So much stuff going on. So tomorrow, apparently, Robles Demolition is gonna be helping us out digging a trench. So we'll be back here on Saturday. Still got so much to go. Hopefully, well, so we start tearing apart the 360 because insurance said they want us to. Okay, we got the 458 mostly done. I got to do a few more things. We got to do some more wiring changes. We got the tune to do. I think one or two other things, and then we can send it off to its new owner, and he should hopefully be happy. Yeah, it's a long day.
Tomorrow.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It's Saturday. It's pretty early, and sorry about the tears in my eyes. It's actually, I'm not crying. I ate a really, really hot sausage jalapeno kolache, and I thought it was gonna be a mild one, and oh man, that burned. Okay, so we're here early because we have to dig a trench. Farmer Dan is back. I know I'm not wearing the hat. I'll put it on later. We gotta dig a trench. It's supposed to rain 3 inches tonight. Oh God, everything's fogged up. Sorry. So we're gonna dig about a 5 foot wide, 2 foot deep trench all the way across the property, all the way to the creek, and it needs to get done today because, like I said, it's supposed to probably rain about 3 inches tonight, which isn't a ton of rain under the normal circumstances. In fact, it'd be very welcomed normally, but right now everything's kind of vulnerable. We probably need to dig out a lot of this stuff, although what I really want to do is kind of create forced channels of where the water is going to want to come down. So we know the water just flowed right here like crazy, right? It just wanted to. So I'm gonna help it because then we can control it. It's fogged again. So I think we're gonna dig that out, like basically create like a path for it to flow right there. And the reason I want to do that is I want to control having stuff fall into the trench that we dig and make the trench ineffective. So I'd like to kind of make it so that the water comes through in like areas that we see it already wanted to come. Let's let it come those ways and try and get it to go into the trench and then flow. Also, not only do we need to dig a big ass trench, we also need to dig this back down to being level with the building or below the level of the building, because that will help it so that it's at least, you know, not going into the building. So we'll have to dig out a lot of this dirt and just move it out of here. Tons and tons and tons of digging. So I went to Minuteman Rentals where I rented the equipment over the last few weeks, and it is a shit show there because everyone needs everything. And so I walk up and I'm like, hey, I need a Bobcat. And like, yeah, we don't have any right now. I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, well, actually that's not true. We've got one coming in about an hour. So if you want, you can reserve that one. I'm like, please do. Everyone needs everything right now. So that was literally the last Bobcat that they have. I guess I got kind of lucky in picking up that one. So we're gonna take that one and we're gonna keep it for a week. And I figure, you know what? We might not need it for a week. I think we can finish up most of this by like, hopefully like Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. The guys that are coming to help, I want them to dig the trench and do the heavy lifting, the big stuff. And then I can take my time and do kind of like the finer details and maybe even try and make the place look somewhat presentable again, because right now it looks like a flood went through here. I'd like to kind of clean up whatever I can. So I'd like to do that next week. And if we finish up and we have the Bobcat for an extra day or two, then I'll post on Facebook or wherever and say, hey, who needs a Bobcat? And I'll go help them out. Because at that point, if we have the trench and we have the property kind of situated, we're at least at a point where we have stability, which would be great. So I need to move that car out of the way, and I need to move the LC out of the way. So I'm gonna park them over there just to kind of get them out of the way, because we're gonna be driving and dumping dirt up there, and I need to get some of these logs out of the way. Like, there's just random crap everywhere. It's just stuff everywhere. Everything's just chaos. Everything's chaos right now, and it sucks. I will keep you updated as stuff happens. So, happy Saturday. Yay. Well, YouTube, Farmer Dan is back. Got me another bobcat, so I'm gonna help them dig, because apparently it's supposed to rain as much as 3 inches overnight, so we're kind of in like a time crunch to get the trench dug today. So they're doing a good job. They're moving fast. He's got a trench going. He's hustling, man. Oh shit, I gotta go move the lawnmower. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Nice. Well, we're getting somewhere. Well, YouTube, I swear to God, I have the world's worst luck. So I'm just trying to dig out stuff as best I can with the bobcat. I'm driving along right here where it's flat, not doing really anything interesting, and the tread splits in half. Yep. Awesome. So I was at least able to spin it out of the way so we can at least still continue to pile up the dirt, but yeah, it literally just split in half. It's just, oh my God. So I guess let me show you what we got going on. This side needs to be trenched out still. We have some gentlemen here.
Don't call me bad words.
See, it's way down below the grade of the building, but this still is much taller, so this still needs to be excavated. But oh yeah, look at the size of that. So I was working on that hump. See where it kind of is a hump right there? That's where I was kind of at, and I had just finished digging out some, and then I was driving over there and the tank tread died. So we can excavate out this and get that so it's flatter. I think we might be in at least business for now. Total pain in the ass. Okay, YouTube, it is late in the day. Spent the last few hours on the bobcat, and I think we got it to a place where I'm happy. So all of this has just a nice gentle slope that way. Now it's not really a trench, but it is a slope. Let me take this. Sorry, Meg called just to, check in. All right, so it slopes all the way down to here. And then from here, there is a tiny bit of a rise, basically right at the shed. But the canyon walls are deeper overall. On Monday or Tuesday, I need to cut it so it has a slope, but we're just kind of out of time today. Should be hopefully good enough to at least handle the rain for tonight. So they said tonight 1 to 3 inches likely, 6 inches in spots, which is what makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking. So you can see just how steep the walls are. Like if I stand next to it, it's up past my knee, so that's pretty good. Pretty much the whole way. So yeah, and then down here you can see it curves to the right, so it's sloping with. Ugh, this stuff's pretty muddy. So it's sloping with the flow of the water. I don't want to get out of the trench because it's muddy right there. It's one of those things that doesn't show up on camera very well. Ooh, it got windy suddenly. Hope that's not the storm already. This is just some like tree roots and stuff, but it should have no problem flowing right past that. So hopefully it'll kind of mate with the river, merge, and flow out nicely. So yeah, I'd say that was a lot today. The moat. A bunch of you on the internet have been commenting saying you're calling it a moat. We're building a moat, keep these bastards out of our shop. All right, guys, that is a very long Saturday as of 4 a.m. this morning, 1 week since the shop got flooded. So we had other people volunteering some more again today to help clean the shop, and the shop is actually looking somewhat reasonable, getting close to where we can do stuff with efficiency, but we're not quite there yet because tools are still scattered. We're still cleaning up some of that stuff. But check this out. Yeah. Man. So what's crazy is there's so much mud impregnated in the floor that you can't just mop it up. So what we found you have to do is you have to mop it, get it really wet, and then you use this squeegee we got, and you have to squeegee it really, really hard, and it digs it up out of all the little imperfections in the ground. Then you can mop up that. It takes a ton of effort just to get the floors to not have this haze. So it's probably not showed up on camera, but like right here, it's really hazy. It's got like this brown haze to it. Slowly we'll get the whole shop so that there's no mud left. And the goal, of course, is hopefully that trench will prevent the water from coming in at this time. I need to cut the edges down so it's got a nice slope. We'll do that later. Again, this was just like an emergency remediation for tonight because we don't want more mud coming in right now because the terrain was so bad that like very small rains after the flood were causing water to come into the shop and make everything muddy again. It's not much, like, you know, but it was still flooding out, not flooding, but it was putting enough water in that we'd have to do a bunch of cleanup over there. So we'd like to not have to do that again, ever. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see you guys Monday. Good morning, YouTube. I guess it's Sunday and I'm here at the shop again. There was supposed to be a storm that was going to roll in last night and it's so slow moving, it's not here yet. It's supposed to be here in maybe the next hour or two, and throughout the night they kept upgrading the severity of the storm. First they're like, oh, it's 1 to 3 inches. Then they're like, well, it's 3 to 6 inches. Now they're like, oh, it's 3 to 9 inches. Oop, it's foggy. So I'm like, all right, you know, I still have a little bit of time while it's dry. I'm gonna come out here, fire up the Bobcat, and try and shore up the moat a little bit more, just in case. I guess I have PTSD and I'm a little bit paranoid right now that everything's gonna go to shit. So I'm gonna crank up the Bobcat, cut the sides so that they don't collapse, because right now they're basically vertical and they will collapse. That was one of the things I just didn't have time to do yesterday, and there's some areas that I want to put some dirt to just... Anyway, I'm gonna do what I can, and well, probably gonna rain soon. So you can see it's looking pretty angry out there. The birds are like, yeah, this is great. We're gonna just chirp and stuff. We got all this water. The good news is I'm not as scared about this, but admittedly, I think I do have a little bit of PTSD. All right, YouTube, the rain is here. So I did what I could. Here, got my little cardboard cover for the camera. I don't want the camera to get wet. It's really weird rain because it's just like falling straight down. There's zero wind. And that's the problem, is these storms are moving really slow. So you can see it's already, ooh, sorry about the humidity. It's already starting to dump out of the downspouts. So, well, I did what I could. I don't know if it's gonna help, but I just wanted to get as much as I could done before it started raining. So I'm gonna wait here for a little bit. I'm gonna check the radar, make sure it's nothing crazy. If it is, I'm gonna kind of wait for that, but I think, I don't know, this might just be a little bit of a pre-storm storm because it's kind of spotty and then it's got a big wall of water. I should have brought an umbrella. So it's been raining on and off and it's really, really muddy now. Of course, we don't have any like grass or gravel or anything to cover up the mud. Don't really want to walk around there and don't really want to drive the Bobcat back there now because it would just get stuck. It's gross back there. So I'm just kind of waiting for this big band of rain to hit us. The rain's really weird, but there's a big clump coming. So here's what we're looking at. You can see that's been coming our way. These little bands hit us, you know, and then it just kind of got this big thing that's coming towards us. So it looks like within the next hour. So I'm just kind of chilling at the shop until then. Just cleaning up tools, moving stuff, organizing, trying just getting things to be operational while I wait. So far it looks like the runoff ditch or moat or trench or whatever the hell you want to call it is sort of working. There's a low spot right there that's causing a bit of a traffic jam in the water, so I need to dig it out right there. And then there's a low spot back there, you can see, but the water is flowing that way. It kind of pools up there and then it keeps flowing a bit past that. So I think we're all right, maybe. I mean, it looks pretty good. The big thing will be if huge amounts of water come down off of their dirt piles, then it can flow down into this trench, and hopefully that's tall enough that it'll just let it go that way. Even if it erodes this a bit, we've got, you know, quite a bit of ways before it gets to building, so it would have to come up, you know, a couple feet. So I think we're okay for now. Like I said, I'm gonna just wait another half hour or so for the next big rain, and I think we're good. I think it's gonna be okay. Maybe I'll just go home, come back later in the day. Yeah, that sounds better. Instead of just waiting and waiting. All right, guys, hopefully we at least have it mitigated for the moment. All right, YouTube, I just kind of hung out until we got like the brunt of the storm, and the water is flowing, although it pools up in a few spots, but it's generally flowing, so I'm gonna go home. I think we're good. I can relax. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning, YouTube. It's already a pretty rough day. It's Monday, so it's 9 days after the flood. So I pretty much have not had a single day off, although yesterday at least I got to go home and I fell asleep at like, I don't know, I took a nap in the middle of the day, which was wonderful after trying to just look over the rain and make sure nothing was gonna flood. Let me tell you, this morning, this morning was tough. I don't really try to talk too much about my personal life outside of this. I feel like it's the one thing I have left. Everything else is kind of public, but you know, stuff I do with my kid and with my wife, I try not to really talk about on the channel, but I'm gonna make an exception for this morning. You know, obviously I haven't been around a lot, so I haven't seen my son as much as I would love to, and I'm sure as much as he would love to. And I was dropping him off at school today, and he just was just having a hard time. And he wouldn't let go of me, and I had to sit there, and I just kind of had to hug him for about 40 minutes. Just really having a hard time. That almost did me in. I was wrecked after that. Leaving school after he finally was calmed down and stuff that was hard. Let me tell you, I'm emotionally, physically, mentally just spent. Absolutely spent. And at the moment there's really like no respite in sight. There's still so much we have to do. I was trying to fill out SBA stuff this morning and nothing was cooperating. I couldn't log into my mortgage website, so I couldn't get the mortgage information because they want, you know, they need all of your debts, all of your assets, all of your banking information, all of your tax returns, all this stuff. So I have to sit there and gather tons and tons of paperwork. And I know these are all just annoyances and stuff, but when you're doing that after doing all this other crap, you're just like so it's too muddy to really do the Bobcat right now. Maybe it'll dry up this afternoon, but at the moment, like just walking from my truck to the shop, I could tell it was just way too muddy. So I probably need to let it sit for at least the day, and then maybe we can do some stuff tomorrow, although it's supposed to probably rain again today, so it just won't let up. So we're trying to figure out how to resolve putting something in the trench to prevent it from just washing out and getting worse. There's a couple of thoughts. One, put in grass. I don't think grass will work. Up here is very rocky and sandy. It's not good material for grass. I don't think it will like it. I think it will never grow. Back here on this side of the shop, I think we absolutely could put grass, and maybe that's what we should do. So this lower half, grass makes a ton of sense. We could do some hydro seeding or whatever, and that also would just look okay, because then that area already had lots of grass. All right, we'll do grass back there. But up here, I'm thinking we might have to do like larger rocks or something, because so muddy and stuff. Like if we don't put something back there, it's just gonna be so nasty. Something has to go back there. I don't know what yet. I don't think we want to make it permanent with concrete, because ultimately, if we get the temple to alter their property and the runoff doesn't come back onto our property, well then we don't need this massive trench. We could fill it in some or do something with it to make it less massive. So right now it is big. It is very, very large. It's probably at least 6 feet across and 2 feet minimum depth. Many places it's probably 3 feet. It's big, right? It's a large trench, or as a lot of you have started calling it, the moat. So I think we'll start calling it the moat. We have a moat. We want to keep the people out. And of course, we still got to work on other cars today, get some cars out the door. We got to work with insurance. I got to try and find out if our insurance is going to cover anything. yeah, there's just so much to do. Anyway, I guess I need to sit down. Oh, and my computer, the fan on my computer started dying. I'm just like, come on, man. So hopefully it can at least stay cool enough to not overheat and burn itself out. To be clear, that's not the computer I use for editing videos. It's just the computer I keep at work. The computer I use for editing videos is still okay, thankfully, because that computer's far more expensive. One thing after another after another. It might dry up enough that I can at least scoop up some of the crap, like all this dirt and rocks and all that shit just washed out into the yard. So it needs to get picked up because now it's gonna have like these weird areas of nothing that's all dead. All right, yeah, let's get started. Well, YouTube, we got the yellow car off the lift because we want to clean it up, and we need to get this car on the lift so we can finish it. So it's actually totally fine. Got like a few things left. So if you know, this one was on the quick jacks, it was just high enough to avoid the water. We're gonna put that on the lift real quick. Okay, YouTube, so shuffled around a lot of stuff. So this car, it's funny because when they sit after being in water, the brake pads rust to the rotors, and you gotta like break them free. But once it broke free, it actually rolls pretty nice. So we're gonna try and get that one cleaned up. Believe it or not, 458 started up and drove, no problems. So did the other one. There's some blown fuses that we're replacing, and we're still working through. It's got some unhappy modules, but it's looking better than we thought. Still gotta work on the other 458 as well, doing that. That car that was right here is now up there, so we can put the bottom panels on and get that car basically finished. And we also did another pass on wiping the floors down. It's really interesting. The dirt is so impregnated into the floors that you can't just mop it up. You actually have to get it wet, and then we have this squeegee, which, by the way, I'm gonna fully endorse the squeegee as the best squeegee ever. You need the squeegee if you ever have to deal with this, but you have to squeegee super hard, like tons of pressure, and it pushes it out of all the little cracks and crevices in the floor. This thing right here, the Quickie 24-inch dual blade squeegee. This thing is a monster. I want a bigger one. If they make like a 36, I want that. This is it right here. This is the shiz. If you ever need to do cleanup, all the other squeegees we have suck. That one's the bomb. It's funny, like we did some unintentional product testing. Like, all right, that DeWalt silent something whatever shop vac is, everyone was like, holy crap, that thing's the shit. Sucks really hard, haha, and super quiet. It's awesome. We finally started shutting off some of the fans so it doesn't sound like a constant airplane flying in here. It's already like 2 in the afternoon. I think we're gonna try and grab some lunch because I'm starving. I know these guys are starving. We've been working all day. It's still too wet to use the Bobcat. I'll probably wait till tomorrow and then we'll start doing some more shit because I just like did a few little things and it just tore the crap out of everything because it's so wet. So needs one more day before we can really do anything with that. Working on filling out SBA applications. Still haven't heard back from the insurance. They were supposed to call today, so we might still hear on that. Oh, I just realized the lens is really dirty. Look at this. I sort of have an office again. Sort of. Minus drywall. Well, YouTube. Oh.
Hi.
There's a little gremlin here again.
Came here for moral support. I'm checking on him more regularly, guys.
Yeah. Another one bites the dust. The LC500 is totaled. So we're 2 down, 2 officially totaled, 1 in progress. Again, we kind of had an update call with the insurance about Scott's car, and it won't start. So, I mean, I don't know. If they're gonna try and fix it, it's gonna cost as much as the car is worth to fix this at this point. So we don't, there's gonna be computer modules and wiring that's toast, and yeah, it's just, so we gotta get some stuff done on that car. We're working on getting stuff done on that car. I've been playing on the Bobcat. It is really muddy and smelly back there. That mud stinks. It smells awful. I wanted to get some stuff done because I think it's supposed to rain tonight, and then gotta do what we can.
Tomorrow for sure.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It's Tuesday. So let's get our head situated and then we'll start wrenching and doing stuff. A few more things to button up. Oh, wait. Okay, they flopped around. I thought that car was on the lift. All right, so after I left last night, they must have swapped that car and that car. So, all right, 458 needs a few things. to button up. That's why we put it over on the 2-post lift so we can get the wheels off. 430 right here. Okay, we just lowered it. It still needs to get window tint, still needs to get a PPF on the front, still needs to get alignment, still needs to get tires, and then it looks like the bottom panels need to go on, and then I think it's done and can go to its owner. So again, this is one of those cars that it was here in the shop. Thank God it was up on the lift, and so nothing happened to it. And he's never even seen the car in person yet, so I'm sure he's dying to get a hold of it, especially under the circumstances. So we need to get that car wrapped up and sent off to its new home. And the same situation with the 458 right there. That car was also up on the lift and thankfully had no damage. So we just have to button it up. We had a few more things to do on it. We found, after some more testing, there's an exhaust leak, so we need to correct that. No big deal. And then that car will go on to its new owner, who again also has never seen the thing. So I feel bad that these guys have these cars that they've never even seen before. This 458, okay, flood damage, obviously. We cleaned the crap out of the interior. We took everything apart. You can see we used the carpet extractor on all the floors, took the seats apart, cleaned the seats, checked all the fuses and everything yesterday, and there was 2 blown fuses, and as of this moment, it runs and drives. It only has 1 code. Okay. Weird thing is we still don't have anything from insurance yet on it, so we don't know if it's going to be totaled or not. Josh's 355, the water never got into the cylinders, but it did get into the oil pan, so we drained the oil. We're going to flush it with oil. We pulled off the clutch, and the clutch is toast, completely rusted to the flywheel. The flywheel is also toast, so those need to be replaced. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty okay on it. Obviously, we don't know for sure. It's looking like it's probably going to be okay. Obviously, the rest of the car is completely fine because it was up in the air. Now, this 360 also was, we had just finished up almost everything on this car. We need to take out the carpets. We need to take out the interior, clean the interior. The seats are already taken apart. Those seats got drenched. Those were the seats that were sitting on the floor. We got to see if those ones are fixable, hopefully. I need to call Jay and get him out here and have him put back together the seats and see what he says is and is not fixable. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. All right, let me take this. All right, good thing I took that call. It was the SBA. So as you may or may not know, we're trying to get some loans through the SBA. I guess they partner up with FEMA and can give businesses that are affected by disasters loans and stuff to help them recover. So we're trying to do that. I don't know if we'll get anything or something or who knows, but we're trying. We're trying to get every help we can at this point. So this car, we need to clean up the carpets and stuff. The seats are already taken apart. The really sucky thing is this car was completely sorted and all we had to do was put back in the interior and it would have been done. Really frustrated about that. It was so close to being done. Those are the seats for Scott's car. We actually just pushed Scott's car outside because it's pretty much totaled at this point, although we're still waiting for it to officially get totaled. This 430, you guys haven't seen this one before. This one has 0 issues and was not in the flood. This one, we bought it. It was up in Chicago. It got shipped down to us and we had it sent straight to Makina to get a manual conversion. So it was actually at Makina getting conversion and therefore it's been spared. It is 100% totally okay. So it's for sale and it's a really good condition car. I think it's got like just under 30,000 miles or right around 30,000 miles. 430 Spider. I believe it's got good maintenance records and lots of recent history. So it's all set, ready to go if one of you wants a 430 Spider. Still waiting on the insurance adjuster to come out and take a look at this car. Not sure on the status, but otherwise, I mean, of all the cars here, there's no way that this one won't get totaled. This is the one that I'm most worried about. I think it's the worst condition, unfortunately, my old 430. Honestly, if somehow we do all this and I have any money left, which I won't, I want to buy it back and give it a second chance at life, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. All right, this 458, it started up, it drives, and it has a decent number of issues. It's got some check engine light stuff, or not check engine light, but some codes that's throwing. So we need to do a bit more troubleshooting on this car. But you can see, got the interior all put back together, cleaned all the carpet and all that stuff. So we're at like the try and make it work stage and see if it's going to be fixable or what it's going to take to fix it. So that's kind of the status of the cars in the shop. I was using the Bobcat yesterday trying to revise the trench so that it's got slopes on the sides so it doesn't collapse in on itself, and unfortunately the tread fell in, or the track, I guess, pushed off of the runners. I don't think they tightened it enough when they replaced the track, so I guess I'll show you what I was trying to accomplish. I think it's actually not muddy now. It's dried up overnight. Thankfully, it was supposed to rain last night and it didn't. It missed us. It was really close and thankfully it missed us. Oh yeah, this is actually sort of dry. Over here, not so dry. Got lots of mud and muck that it's yeah, nasty stuff. Oh yeah, right there, still all wet, but it's still muddy. But you can see I kind of started cutting down the sides, so it's going to form more of a V, and that's kind of what we're trying to do, is get it so that it'll not have all that dirt on the sides just fall in on itself. It's kind of hard to tell just how tall this thing is, but it's actually a very, very large trench. I think this stuff gets pretty slimy and greasy and everything. I might put gravel here. I don't think we're gonna line the entire trench with gravel at this point. I need to figure out and make a decision on that like really soon, because I need it to happen while I have the Bobcat. So I need to make a decision on that this morning, and then maybe have gravel put out here to cover stuff. So you can see all of this got totally messed up. It's all nasty now. It looks like shit. This all used to be nice and beautiful and white limestone, and it's just like mud and mixed in with crap. Probably need to skim it and then redo the gravel, the limestone. Over here we got a disaster that I need to clean up with the Bobcat. So all of the dirt and all this crap that we added just ended up down here. So it is just a mix of every type of material you can think of. It's just nasty. This all used to be right here, nice beautiful white limestone, and it's just like mud mixed in with limestone. Again, need to probably skim it, need to just cut down everything, get it back down to the dirt so that grass can grow again, and then we'll probably have to like hydro seed or put down some sort of seed. I need to do that over here too, where the dumpster got trenched. Oh, is the dumpster gone? I think it's gone. Oh goody, they said they were gonna come get it today, and I guess they did. All right, so no more dumpster. We were done throwing away crap, so that works out great. If it's not too muddy, I'll show you the other side of the trench. So this side of the trench has really good dirt, so we could hydro seed it, and we might do that just to kind of hold the dirt in place and prevent it from getting so greasy and nasty. I still have to do a lot of cleanup down here. You can see it's still got kind of a steeper wall, but see how it's all just like this nice black and brown dirt. This stuff will grow grass no problem. In fact, this was all really nice grass before all this. So I need to cut the V down there further and cut the sides of that so it's a bit less of an angle, and especially right there right by that tree is a big problem. It's way too steep. Cut all that, and then I think maybe what we'll do is like hydro seed from up there down here just to kind of hold it. The other thing is if I can cut the V down nice enough, you could still like mow it. Maybe. There is a problem where now the shed can't really store the lawnmower because there's a giant lip, and there's no way the lawnmower is going to get over that lip unless I cut it down really nice. So yeah, I don't know. Chipping away at all the stuff we got to do. Still got a lot of phone calls, still got a lot of stuff to figure out. Copart is supposed to be coming to get this car today, the maroon car. So that car unfortunately is going to be off to the salvage yard, sadly. I'm sure someone will buy it. Well, anyway, that's where we're at, so let's start trying to figure out some stuff. Well, just got the call that I've been expecting. Insurance denied the claim. So both of our insurance policies said nope. So we're onward to stage 2, selling some diminished value Ferraris. So if any of you want some Ferraris that have had water in the cars, reach out to us. Yellow 430, black 458, red 458 with black roof. Oh, and the 355. Oh, and Josh's Porsche, but that thing, I mean, the carpets got wet, but that's it. So that car's totally fine. There was no electrics that got wet at all, so it should have 0 issues. So we're gonna keep cleaning these cars up, trying to take care of what we can at the shop. We're ripping out the interior on this car right now, so we can get all of that cleaned up, get all the silt and nastiness out of here, clean all the carpets, do carpet extractors, check all the fuses, check all the wiring, separate the wiring harnesses, blow out any water that's in there, just cleaning up everything that we can to make it so that hopefully it's functional. But any of you that are interested, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. And obviously, it's not going to be full price. They will be, well, here's the good news. So because insurance did not get involved, none of them have salvage titles. They all have clean titles, which means you can get loans for them. Obviously, we have to disclose that there's been flood water in the cars. It's fresh water. Insurance said no. Yep. So, sweet. Onward to figuring out other strategies. Probably going to be looking into a lawyer pretty soon. So, if any of you have a referral for a land lawyer, we might need to talk to him. Alrighty, we're just kind of pressure washing all the carpets. We're going to pressure wash the inside and the trunk. Oh, sorry. So humid out. Everything gets foggy. So I'm going to let them sit in the sunlight, dry up for a little while, and then we'll do a carpet extractor on all the carpets and stuff. So hopefully that'll help. Just trying to get as much as we can reasonable. Since insurance isn't going to help us, we're going to have to fix these and sell them, I guess. YouTube, it's around 3:30. And I've been bobcatting for quite a few hours now. I am tired and sweaty. It is now officially Texas weather, where it's hot as hell and humid. So I built a berm all along this side of the building, packed it in as best I could. I couldn't get any closer without risking damaging the building. But this area right here does slope pretty good that away. It's pretty good. Once it gets down here, it gets a little bit muddy. So I'm gonna kind of walk on the outside of the edge, but tried to build up right there because water's gonna be pushing hard against that. I may have destroyed that downspout, so both downspouts are totally screwed now, but that's all right. We'll take care of that. We're gonna have to dig it out. Oh, hey, look, He-Man. Hey, good enough, good as new. I went back and forth like, I don't know, 30 times to try and smooth it. Now I think there is a slight rise, but it's way better than before. Also, I cut down the sides quite a bit to give it some slope, so it's actually a little bit deeper than it was before because I removed a substantial amount of dirt. You can see there's actually still water right there from the rain that happened the other night. And so this center section is actually really soft because when I was going at an angle, it was cutting into the center. So that stuff will probably wash out. That's fine with me because it'll create like a center channel, which is great. And then it goes down here quite a ways. You can see this dirt, we can actually plant grass and stuff. It's like really nice dirt. Oh, it gets really sticky, nasty, muddy right here. A good 3 feet deep about right here. And then it starts to curve as it gets closer to the stream. And then it's got some dirt that I can't really take care of with the Bobcat. I'll probably have to shovel it out, but because it's kind of starting to actually get in the water. And it gets really soft right here. But there you go. So it's funny because when you look at it in camera, it looks really small. And then when you see it in person, you're like, holy crap, that's a huge trench. So yeah, I mean, see, it's pretty big. That's a good, I don't know, 5 feet wide, 2 to 3 feet deep the whole way. So I think this area we can plant some seed. I also scraped up a lot of the gravel and crap that washed down into the yard, trying to get so maybe the grass can come back again. We'll probably have to plant seed, spray down some seed or something eventually. And I'm debating now, do I take and put like sharp river rock gravelly stuff that can grab onto each other. I know it would cause the silt to stick, but it would prevent the mud. The mud is legit. So I'm thinking if I want to do that, I want to do it while I have the Bobcat instead of having to rent the Bobcat again. There's kind of two options. One, we just let it go, and then every time it rains, if there's stuff that falls into the trench, we just rent a Bobcat and dig it out. Two, we put gravel in there, and at least then it will naturally harden the gravel into place over time if it doesn't get washed out. If we don't have, as they say, a gully washer, I definitely need to get more stone for like this area and that area up there, so that we can use them again as they were being used before. I also noticed that right there where the water came over our driveway, it washed out and eroded a lot of the dirt, so I tried to put some dirt there to help kind of put it back into where it needs to go. I'm trying my best, man. It's a lot of stuff to do. So I have the Bobcat for a few more days. I don't know, we gotta think about this and make decisions pretty quick though. We're supposed to come get that car today. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Still haven't heard back on that car. Again, LC500 total, don't know when they're coming to get it. The other cars are gonna be ours. No help from insurance. Thanks, insurance. Yay. All right, so it's late today. Still drying the interior of the 360. We've got the interior parts over there getting blow dried. So we got them all torn apart and laid out nice. We ended up washing off the driveway because it was, oh, Scott's bright. It was so muddy and nasty. So now we can actually like park cars on it and it's not totally disgusting. So that's done. Trench is basically done. I talked to Steve about it, and here's what we concluded. I'm not gonna put gravel in the trench at this point because we need to see how it's gonna react first time it really rains. So I'm thinking I might put gravel in this section just down to about the corner, because that's where this we already know is good. It's slanted in the right direction. We've already seen it behave right. So all set. That way we can at least put cars here. And I think I'll put gravel, just kind of redo this section. So maybe I'll get like, I'm gonna say 20 or 30 yards of limestone just to kind of fill this in a little better, make it look nice while we've got the Bobcat. But that's probably about it for the Bobcat for now. I might dig out a little bit more of the dirt that just kind of fell into the yard. Yeah, that's right, sunglasses. That way it just, the grass can grow, because right now there's so much like rock and shit and whatever that I think the grass will have a hard time recovering. So I need to kind of cut it back down to wherever it was before all this happened. So I just need to kind of like shave it down in this area out there and then over there a little bit. But as far as the trench goes, very pleased with it. I think it's gonna work enough for now. We need a storm to test it out. Hopefully not soon. I'd rather not have a storm immediately. Let's let the ground dry a little bit so it's not another disaster. Honestly, I don't think that trench would handle what happened, but that was a 1,000-year storm. The probability of it happening again is fairly low. I'm not saying it's zero, it's just low. So we have to take a computed risk. That's kind of the situation for today. I guess that's gonna do it for the day, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, YouTube. It is now Wednesday, so we have stuff going on already. Already updated a web page, or I should say we created a web page for the cars that got flooded. If you're interested in one of those cars, the webpage is ngsc.me/floodcars, all one word. And that way, if you're serious about it, please go to that page first. Make sure you refresh your browser because it might be cached. If after you go to that webpage you're interested legitimately, then feel free to reach out to us. But we're trying to control how many emails and text messages and DMs and stuff we're getting just asking about the status of the cars. So we're going to try and update that as stuff happens, as we figure out more. So Steve is working on the red 458 right now. We got the 360 basically all torn apart, so the interior is drying still. We let it dry overnight. It's almost totally dry, but some of the insulation still was a little bit damp, so we're letting that dry a little bit more. See, we got the frunk out. So this car, hopefully later today we can have the interior put back together, at least get some of it put back together and try starting it and then finding out what, if anything, is wrong with this car electronically. So that means I'm gonna use the carpet extractor and spray some soap on all the carpets, clean them so that way they don't have any funky smell or anything. We pressure washed them all yesterday, got out any of the dirt or mud and stuff. You can see we've got parts laid out right here that we took out of the car, it dried out everything. So we just need to clean up a little bit more stuff on that car. Looks like Alan stayed here and got some of the exhaust stuff taken care of on this car, so that should be good. Yeah, I think that's good. Still have to do some more stuff on that 430. Oh, it's got the panels on. Looks like maybe the bottom panels are on. If that's true, then that car needs to go to Brad's. This car might have to go to Brad's to get it out of here, get it cleaned up. All right, that'd be great. Then we have one less thing to worry about in the shop. Let me see about that, and if so, then that might be what we're doing later today as well. So we're gonna just kind of keep chipping away at stuff. I've got some gravel, or the limestone, the crushed limestone. I got a truckload of that coming tomorrow, so I can spread that out and just make it so we have less of a dirt farm, or I should say mud farm over there, and clean up just some of the areas so it looks a bit nicer. I'm gonna scrape up some more of the dirt and put it into the pile. Still crazy busy, although it's feeling a little more controlled right now. It's like not quite as insane as it was. Oh yeah, and then that black 430, we need to do a video on that and show it all the cool stuff about that car. It is all set, ready to go, no issues. Was not in the flood, was actually at Makina getting converted, so yeah. Oh yeah, gotta love the manual. All right, that's it for now, so I'll update you throughout the day. All right, YouTube, slight change of plans. Steve's still working on that. So I posted on the local community Facebook page that I had a Bobcat that I rented for the week, and basically at this point it's sitting here idle. I'm waiting on dirt to come until tomorrow. So I was like, hey, does anyone need any dirt moved or anything like that? Got some suggestions. Another business that got beat up pretty hard, they need some help. So I'm gonna go pick up the trailer, load the Bobcat, and it's like 20 miles away, so we'll drive on down the road and we're gonna help them out this afternoon. So I guess I'm gonna go pay forward some of the good deeds that have happened to me and hopefully help save another business that does good things for the community. Let's go hook up the trailer and help some other people. All right, YouTube, we are on our way to help out Ashley's K9 training. So I was posting on the Liberty Hill Facebook group saying, hey, I've got the Bobcat through Friday. If you need help, let me know. And someone tagged her company. And so I gave her a call and she's like, yeah, I guess their road got washed out and stuff. So we'll see what we can do to help. Pay forward some karma that we've been getting. We've been getting a lot of good karma, so gotta help out when you can. Plus I feel guilty having this Bobcat when there's so many people who need stuff like the Bobcat. So it's like, I already paid for it. I have it through Saturday. Might as well use it. So off we go. All right, YouTube, we're on the way back. It's later in the afternoon. Spent a couple hours there. Basically, they had an area of the property that was next to a horse barn, and the horse barn flooded, and it blew in the roll-up door just like it did on ours, and it blew out one of the side panels because the water came up so much, and then it would not drain. And so basically what I did is I created a slope to the property right there to a creek that's kind of where the flooding was, so that way it'll drain into the creek. Yeah, so I basically just had to shave it down. Oh, by the way, they're on a dirt road, and this road is beat up. They need, yeah, they were saying that one of the things they want to do is fill back in some of the missing parts of the road. It is super rough. It takes forever. Yeah, to get back here, you have to drive so slow because it's so rough, especially with the trailer. But anyway, it was good to help them out. I feel kind of like a little bit of paying out some karma and helping others. It's always nice when you can do that. In this particular instance, especially since we just got so much help from all y'all, that I just felt like I had to do something to help others. Even though we still have so much to do ourselves, it was just nice to help other people who are in a bind. They were talking about how they didn't have flood insurance either, and they're not in the floodplain, and this, has never happened, and they've been there forever. It tells you just how bad this storm was. We're gonna head back to the shop and see how things are going. I think I got an email, or I got a text, so I think another one of the cars bit the dust, unfortunately. Another one of the insurance came through. All right, YouTube, it's late in the day. They came and got the one car. I had to give an estimate for another car. So I gave an estimate. Yeah, it far exceeds the value of the car, unfortunately. So I'm pretty sure that one's totaled. Josh is gonna try driving that thing home.
Cross my fingers.
Good luck to you. It's still got a lot of errors, but sometimes some of these cars just want to be driven. I don't know.
Changed all the fluid, changed the transmission.
Yeah, changed
fluid, the oil, took all the belly pins off and inspected everything. I cleaned everything.
This one's weird because it's got errors, but it's possible it's a ECU died or lost its programming or something. So anyway, I'm gonna head home, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Thursday. God, it's going fast. Well, We'll see you tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It's Thursday, which means tonight is the Thursday Night Live, 8 p.m. Central. Join us every week on Thursday. But also, it's the end of this week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars. And I can say that because we still have a dealership and we survived, I think. There's still some things to figure out, but my confidence that we're gonna pull through this now is like, I'm gonna say 90%, whereas a week ago, I would say it was probably like 60%. And on July 5th, I would say it was about 5%. So that's great. That makes me feel really good. And all of this is because of you. You guys saved us. And I mean that. This is not hyperbolic. You guys saved us. We could not have survived without your help. Whether it was donating money, donating time, donating parts, sending us coffee, sending us a dumpster, sending us 15 shop vacs and 25 racks, and you guys came through and saved our business. As Meg was joking, this is now a public trust. So we owe it to the public to honor you and do what we can to keep the business running, keep being honest, and keep being transparent and providing you guys excellent service and excellent cars. That being said, we are not out of the hole, as you heard. Insurance is not covering it, so yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of money. It's potentially up to 6 figures. We just don't know yet. It just really depends how much we can sell the cars that we have that got flood damage for. By the way, a bunch of you are like, oh, we're legally obligated to report that. No, we're not. You don't have to tell Carfax anything. You do have to disclose it to the next buyer. That is a requirement by law, but I mean, obviously we've disclosed it. Like, we're like, hey, these cars got water in them. So, and you know, whoever's buying it, we're gonna be like, hey, this the reason it's a huge knockoff from full price is because of the water getting in the car. Everyone's transparent about that. So we're still waiting to hear from insurance companies on a few cars, but I thought you guys would find this kind of funny / sad. Remember that culvert? They dug out this new big culvert over our road. Well, it eroded so bad they had to dig it out. So they're literally tearing up this brand new culvert. It lasted all of one storm. There you go. Well, I guess that means back to trying to accomplish business, hopefully start making some money. If you want to continue to support us, there's a few ways you can do that. 1, like, share, and subscribe. That does actually help support the channel. 2, go visit normalguysupercar.com, buy parts and service from us, use the code NGS10, it hooks you up with 10% off. 3, go to NG Supercars, our dealership website, although I think there's exactly 1 car listed for sale right now, so it may be a little bit before we have more cars on that website. And finally, if you still want to support us financially, we're believe it or not, we still are going to need help. So I think this will probably be about the last week we really keep the GoFundMe running, but you can check that out, ngsc.me/flood. And if you're interested in the flood cars and you'd like to buy one, go to ngsc.me/floodcars. Okay, it's time to edit this video. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be doing hopefully more cool car stuff. You're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.